What kind of stuff are they giving you the most trouble about in terms of censorship? Is nudity or
like waking up?
Just getting out of bed in the morning?
They just have it in their minds that they want to hire somebody, but they don't want any communication made. You know, they want to like make you into something. I don't know. It's like, I guess it goes into white homes. They're worried about that a lot.
What do they? Yeah, you know, it's funny. Gwen Barrett, our associate producer, or sometime producer, is black. You know, and Carmen Matias is Hispanic.
You have to be colored to be on television.
Yeah, colored.
Yes, you can't be black. You have to have a little colored in there, just a taste.
Tad.
Yeah, just to keep it interesting for America.
Yeah. Well, she said, when we were talking about your humor, that your humor offends white people, and I'm not that easily offended. Like, I'm not coming from a spot where Richard Pryor is going to offend me. I think you have humor that makes us see a lot of the truth and laugh at things we wouldn't normally laugh at. I think that's part of what you're doing. What do you think that these executives are afraid you're going to do to white America?
Probably stop some racism.
Stop racism?
What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is me, Crimson 60620. How is everybody doing? Let me just set something up. Yeah, how's everybody been doing? I was supposed to set up this stream early, and I had everything setting up, so I was mostly everything setting up. So I was as you can actually see, I have two cameras. Like, see, look, check that out. First, let's actually turn this off. What up? I have two cameras. Oops, wrong thing to show. All right, there go the camera. No, man, this is like crazy. Okay, so I'll tell you guys this. So I really like being the troll that I am. There we go, it's better. I like really being the troll that I am because effectively people don't realize that like, okay, I'm a lefty, right? I'm a lefty. I will admit I'm a lefty. I'm not one of those, oh, I'm mad at America bad lefties, like, because that's stupid. One, because your favorite country is also bad. Two, yeah, guys, I had to let you guys know. I gotta see that. Remember, if you don't know who that is, I've been working on this the last couple of days. But we gotta remember, Ohana means family, and family means no one gets left behind. You know, except if you like one of those super religious people, they're like, no, I'm going. You're staying on this earth. I'm such a jerk. I am such a jerk. Anyway, inside baseball stuff. Yeah, so I'm trying to do where I get you guys a video every day, either be a stream or a video. I'm putting one out. I put one out today. So yeah, like I touched sand today. Well, I touched grass every morning. You know, being in my current health condition, I'm actually starting to work to try to do better for my health and stuff like that. And so I've been walking. And so with me walking, sometimes I do try to ride my bike, but it gets windy. It does get windy, and I'll admit I'm a little punk when it comes to actually riding in the wind. I mean, like there are people that are used to the cold that can ride their bike in the cold. I am not one of them. I literally just hate cold and wind when I'm trying to ride my bike. And it sucks, man. So the days that I don't ride my bike and I am litigated back to walking, which I had a really good walk today. I got my heart rate in higher rate, and I was just like, whoa, let me slow down, because I still need to kind of get clearance from the doctor to be able to walk in a brisk pace that I'm doing. And so I kind of like, gotta slow my roll a little bit. But you guys saw last stream how the pictures I've taken. Not that I'm getting into photography per se, but I like taking pictures of nature. It's fun. And the joke is that even though I'm an artist, you just guys saw me do Stitch. It's one of those things where it's not my type of art to create, like in painting form. Have I tried rocking, brother? What's rocking? I don't know what rocking is, but I'm doing all of this to actually just warm up my voice. I don't know if I'm gonna stream long or stream for a long time, but I did want to cover a few topics. But before I get into that, and I feel like this is something that I need to tell a lot of people. If I tell you to hit the dislike button, that means I don't care. I'm more concerned about you watching. What's a Rasta? I'm more concerned with you watching. I mean, like, if you have the dislike button, cool. But I mean, like, I say like and subscribe. That's a thing that we YouTubers do to get you to watch more of our channels. And yeah. They won't let me do weights. They won't let me do weights. They tell me not to do weights. They said that they said I can't do weights because of the strain that I may place on my heart. This is a conversation that I have had. Yeah, no, this is a conversation I've had, and they tell me I can't do weights. But let's kind of get to the videos. And exactly. But look, I will tell you guys this. When I say some people just do butthurt stuff and think that I'm just soft, that I'm like this is literally a comment that I had. Where is it at? I save these as trophies. I save these as trophies that I can talk with these people on. Where is that at? Like, I won't just get a folder and just put that in. Nope, that's not it. Like, when I see these people and they actually show me this, like, look, these are some of the comments that are left on my channel. these are some of the comments that I left, and I'm like, first of all, the first one, the guy says, "You irrelevant effing retard, stay irrelevant, moron." I'm so irrelevant that you literally had to put a comment. And of course, one of these things that these cats do who don't realize that I fight back. I fight back, dog. This is just like I'm so irrelevant, but you mad, you mad. Look. You are the only grifter with your Marxist, communist, kosher lot. Like, dude, I'm not circumcised. I'm not kosher. I mean, like, for somebody to be sucking my dick, they should really know that I'm not circumcised, so I'm not kosher. Okay, all right. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop now, cause I'm being a jerk. I know I'm being a jerk, so let me stop. Let me stop picking on people by getting into picking on people. All right. So let's start the video review, and this is a few things that I'm gonna actually go over, and yeah, let's address this, okay? All right, so I want to say that first, welcome to the video clip. Like, share, and subscribe. We have to do that and get that out the way. And if you dislike the video, double hit that dislike button. Hit it, light it up, and hit it again so it can be unlight up, so it can really know you don't like it. I was recently on the Hippy Dippy recruitment channel. I was there, and I don't feel that I did well. Maybe because I thought it was going to be more free form. I didn't think a lot of people were going to come with written opening and closing statements. But, you live and you learn. I've had debates on this channel, conversations on this channel where it was just one-on-one, and I felt that I've done well. But, maybe I need to actually start brushing up on those because I do want to get on more panel shows. I found out a old friend of the channel, Joe Lewi, was actually going to be on the channel, and I don't have that clip. You know what? Yeah, I do have that clip. Let's actually pull that up. And I want to say thank you to Icon for actually giving me this clip. This is, if you don't know what this clip is, here. This is our introduction to our boy Joe Lewi. Here we go.
Political systems in society based on who you are. You are a white, I'm assuming middle class Asian American.
He must have misspoke, right?
White presenting, I should say.
You know what, dude? Mad props for the double down. Call him a fucking cracker, man. Fuck.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, for real. That's what Joe Lewi. Joe Lewi actually said that. He literally called this Asian man white. I don't know what else to say. Like, what? So let's go over. And I actually clipped it together. I did some pre-stream work, guys. I know, right? Let's do some pre-stream work. And we're going to actually cover Joe Lewi talking about the opening question of which one is better, for the who is going to be a better president. Let's go.
I think Trump is a better option for the world, unironically, but not in the traditional way that those on the right may argue.
Now, Joe Lewis has actually expressed that he is somebody who is on the left. And the first words out of his mouth was, Trump is a better president. Like, wait, what?
There'll be lots of death, compromise, and ruin relationships internationally, along with other obvious and unobvious loss. At the end, the U.S. hegemon will be perceived in its full form, which puts the rest of the world in a crossroads where they can either reject it or just embrace it, which I believe.
So this guy's bright idea is for Trump to be president. So it can be death, destruction. It can be people who are hurt and get so mad at the U.S. that the U.S. standing in the world would fall. What? What? This man wants to cause harm to people to say U.S. bad. That's got to be the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The dumbest thing I've ever heard. This man literally wanted to said, hey, the U.S. gonna lose standing in the world if Trump gets elected and people are gonna be hurt. Let's let him continue. Because remember, I cut this up. Let's go.
Would be a fool's errand. With Harris, the U.S. idea of normalcy will continue to decline at the same pace it's currently in until you see some type of significant fallout in places like Ukraine or the Middle East broadly. Then you'll see it spiraling faster and faster, and then due to that economic decline, the United States will engage into more risky behaviors in the attempt to maintain normalcy. Trump will hurt our allies and enemies the most, severing international relationships for sure. And in the next 3 years of that, China will begin to surpass the United States and a bunch of different economic metrics as the United States begins to decline.
So what he wants is to have the U.S. decline and China rise. You know China isn't a good place, dog. You understand that, right? You know the free speech that you enjoy talking about how bad the Biden administration is. That same free speech that you're espousing will get you disappeared in China. Heck, your brown skin would get you disappeared in China. They don't like that, dog. Why would you praise a country for something that they want to do, that is bad? Oh yeah, America bad. America bad. This is weird. This stuff is just weird. And this is somebody who claims to be on the left that wants black liberation under authoritarian government that have been known to put minorities in camps, to over police minorities. You're okay with China taking over? Come on now. And that little quip about, well, something may happen in the Middle East or something may happen in Ukraine and something did happen under Biden. And it turned out to be a better situation than under Trump. You openly admit that Trump would hurt our allies or hurt our countries that we're friends with. Also, you can say America bad. Let's go.
And we're talking things like general assets for Americans and the dollar broadly. I think neither of those futures are good options for Americans.
So he would want for people to have a worse outcome just to prove the Democrats are bad. He would do that. How? Why would you say some stupid stuff like this? Why would you want people to be hurt just to prove your point? Why? That's incredibly short-sighted. That's incredibly just, you know what? Screw you. I'm going to be right. Like that's how that sounds, man. You sound like somebody that just well, you know, it's going to hurt other people, so you know, screw them. Screw them. That's weird. But let's go back. This is his closing statement about who will be better.
I think it was very clear and demonstrable within this conversation that neither side of this, Kamala Harris supporters and Trump supporters, are able to clearly show to the people watching at home that either of those two people are great futures for America. I do appreciate a Canadian is able to articulate their argument, but he is also an individual engaging in this.
Now, I'm not going to accuse this man of fence sitting. I'm not going to do that. Well, neither one was actually good. We have proof. Trump is not an unknown quantity. We had a global pandemic, which shows the inefficiency that you would see with Trump. We have that data, dog. That was something that we have history of. We have the videos of how he says you need to put bleach inside of you and you need to use UV lights. Before that, we have the trade deficits that he caused because of his tariffs, because he wanted to hurt China. Under the Biden administration, which Harris doesn't have much power, but she will be elected the vice president. In this time, you have to be able to go along with the agenda that the president has. We saw a recovery that is better than what's happened across the globe. We saw, for all the lefties that get upset about the war in Israel, we saw a somewhat measured response, and we saw how when Biden was unhappy with what Israel was doing, they at least tried to slow down the weapons. And their reports how Israel saying, you're not giving us weapons like we need to. Their reports. Your favorite streamer won't tell you that. We have the pressure that is being put on, Israel to, not be as stupid as they trying to be. We have the fighting back of Ukraine over a tyrannical government in Russia, which if it was the US, y'all will be crying all types of stuff, but because Russia was somewhat associated with the Soviet Union, well, they must be good. Man, the NLRB, the National Labor Relations Board, has grown leaps and bounds. The union growth has increased. But a lot of you online leftists, y'all don't want to actually work jobs, so we shouldn't have to work. Like, no. You need to contribute to society. As much as a left as I am, you need to also know that you need to contribute to society. Y'all mad about the Biden administration when your lives are better. But let's continue.
System as a non-citizen. He is not an American. So while I think it's a very appreciative that he's able to articulate those things, he will only be able to deal with these things by proxy. He won't be somebody who's able to be living through these things and engaging with these things in a substantive manner.
All through the point, this guy right here was talking about how Canada is affected by U.S. policy. The world is affected by U.S. policy. Wasn't that one of the points that he made in his opening? That the world is affected by U.S. policy. That's why he wants the U.S. to lose strength in the world, because everybody will start to hate the U.S. and America bad. Yeah, he's trying hard to sound smart and it's not. He's failing. But let's go.
In social, political, and economic institutions. That being said, I think it's very clear that neither candidate is good for the future of the United States. I think the discourse within this conversation and the inability.
It was stated that it seemed like Joe Lewis was commanding the scene. No, some of us was just unimaginably surprised of how stupid he sounded. It's the reason why I have myself muted, because when I was doing the stream, I was actually talking to you guys while I was doing the stream, because I didn't, I'm streaming on my channel too. I'm trying to make sure I actually show, my opinion of it. But this sounds just like both bad, don't vote. Mind you, the people that are saying that, not only do they have something to lose, but the people that they care about also having something to lose, they're willing to throw them under the bus to say America bad, both parties bad, both parties do the same thing. Under Joe Biden, Roe versus Wade was overturned. As if a president has fiat power to make everything that he wants to do law. Well, I guess with 2025, that's what Donald Trump is trying to do. But a lot of these people, I ask you, and I will give Joe Lewis this. Later on, you're going to see in this video that he brings up a point about the, Secretary of, or the Department of Education. But just because you can read off a point doesn't mean you actually understand civics. But let's go. Maybe he'll make some last points.
For the right and the left, I'm saying left and right broadly in this case, to engage with the criticisms that both of the sides are presenting shows that neither of these candidates are substantively good for the country. And that's concerning considering the geopolitical consequences that are very clear within the next 4 to 16 years of this country.
Bro, here, let me just say this. They're trying to make sure that there are no more elections. Trump has even came out and said it. He said, you don't have to vote one more time, then you don't have to vote at all. Why would you even allow that to slip from your lips? There is some people in the conservative party, and I'm not talking about the rank and file conservatives, because they're buying into something that I don't think they fully know what they're going to buy into. But there are some people that are leading the conservative party that want to make sure you go back in chains, dog. And I don't mean this economic slavery. No, they want you back in chains. They're going to beat you and call you, your name is Toby. But you're going to be one of the good ones, right? Because you said that I didn't like either one of them. But I said I wanted Trump to be president. I don't know. Well, let's continue. This is the opening statement about the Department of Education. Let's go.
Joe Lewi, take it away.
The Department of Education has a lot of limitations.
I messed this up.
This does not directly mean doing completely away with the offices within them, which I'm sure we'll be able to have time to parse out in terms of the semantical differences. The General Education Provisions Act prohibits the federal government from exerting control over curriculum, programs, and educational practices. This allows them to influence policy, but they cannot overtly mandate particular curriculum changes. Their funding comes from appropriations, which means
and this is just like me being honest. He's effectively reading a Wikipedia. And I'm not gonna say that that's either good or bad. I'm not. But he's reading it Wikipedia. That doesn't do anything about getting rid of the Department of Education.
Means broadly, their funding will change based upon the makeup of Congress. There are also limitations when it comes to the budget, since, as Cypher brought up, Title I is very expensive to implement, but that also is a limitation because of the budgetary constraints within that. So it's very difficult to fund Title I substantively. Another example of this is with Title IX. The department is also limited in its compliance reviews and it's responding to complaints. OCR, which is the wing of the Department of Education that's responsible for enforcing civil rights, relies on schools' voluntary voluntary implementation of corrective action, and this enforcement is limited to the legal challenges.
So what we've heard right now is that the Department of Education bad because, well, they can't mandate certain things just off rip for everybody in the country, which has its pros and cons. Also, it's expensive. What? That sounds like, one, I don't think it's a good idea. Me personally, don't think that's a good idea to have it where we would mandate a certain set of curriculum for the whole country, because I know that power can be used in a weird and very destructive way. Very literally Project 2025. We know what's going on. But let's go.
In place, which means that you might even have somebody file a formal complaint, but legal challenges will cause that to drag. Education, in my opinion, should be left to the states. However, it's reasonable to recognize that there's a through line that education, in particular K through 12, is important for shaping the future of social, political, and economic institutions. Consistency of topics that need to be substantively taught in order to engage in American social, political, and economic institutions is important. I think it's something that we should encourage. So if you want to, like, general of my take, if all of that was just words to you,
pointing out the bad thing doesn't excuse the bad thing. You use all of that time to say the Department of Education can't enforce certain things, which rightly should be left to the states. There are some things that should be a requirement, a level of math, science that should be a requirement, but the out and out spelling of the curriculum, no, dog. But you didn't make a point either way. You just said they can't do it. They can't enforce certain things. Cool, great. That's what the 9th Amendment is. That's what the 10th Amendment is. Is what? Oh, well, 10th Amendment is the last cause, but that's what the 9th Amendment is. That's something that you need to that we have that as part of our founding document. But let's go.
Support the repealing of the Department of Education Organization Act of 1979
Oh,
and
sorry.
the redistribution of responsibilities within the other department.
Now, I brought this up because, like, this is like supposedly a lefty or for African American liberation and stuff like that. I don't have a personal grudge against him. I mean, like, I did do a review of that video that that conversation that him and Rico Rance had with him, and the points that he made are so stupid. I don't know what else to say about it. But in the end, in the very end, somebody like this is just trash. Because what they don't even want accelerationism. They want to be seen as the head of the vanguard. They want, I was right and I should be the leader. They want to seem smarter than what they actually are. I wish I could have found that clip because I couldn't search the transcript. The transcript wasn't there. But this man at one point said, we should eliminate school altogether. We should eliminate bedtime. Literally making the joke. And I don't even know if he was serious or not because all of the BS that he puts up. You can go and watch the video. It's on my channel right now. And it's the hippy dippy recruitment. But like literally, and I will admit that I didn't do as well as I wanted to. But when you have people that do online debate like this, I don't know, man. Sometimes I think it's just for the cameras. And I'm a showman. But like this, it's just weird, dog. It's weird. It's weird. But anyway, we're going to cut this video segment here. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching this video clip. And if you're watching this stream, stay along. We're going to have some fun. Keep going. How did you guys like me preparing for a video that I was going to actually do? I know, strange, right? The book Burning in Red States is exactly why you need a national standardized curriculum. I get that. I just know that there are some people that would do it and take advantage of it. I mean, like we saw some of the things that even well-intentioned things would actually do, like No Child Left Behind or Common Core, and we saw the unintentional things of something like that would happen. I think that there needs to be a conversation that goes on about just the direction of how education is looked at in this country. There are so many people that literally would look at science, and because science can't answer every single thing, they'll say, science is wrong, so magic. Or they would use, something that science probably got wrong 30 years ago that have since corrected it 20 years ago, and they will say, well, science is wrong this time, so they're wrong all the time. And it's just like, or they want to make sure that they're smarter than an expert because a misinterpretation of their own fact. I've seen it. And even well-meaning people, not even people that's trying to be dishonest, they're just well-meaning, like, well, if we evolved from monkeys, why are there still monkeys around us? Like, that's not how that works, dog. That's not how that works. It's just our idea of science, and don't even get to the social sciences. Oh God. So, anyway, let's get to another video. And this is a video that I was rudely interrupted with on Sunday that I was going to actually cover, but I didn't mind having Miss Keeper on the channel, even though she kind of like yelled at me. But it's cool. I bet she will yell at me again if I have her on the channel. You heard me. I bet she will yell at me again. Hey, shout out to Miss Keeper. She helped like at least give her the watch time if you don't want to subscribe. She has some interesting points. And yeah. Man, we are not kicking the can down the street. We kicking it across the country, around the ocean, and down the wormhole. That's how far the can is being kicked here. That is the can is kicked so far that the particles that are left on your feet are, intrinsically tied through string theory on the other side of the universe. That's how far we're kicking the can. Okay, okay. All right, all right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right, all right. So let's get to this video. Um, I am telling you guys this, and I'm not gonna go through the spiel of I play games, I like PlayStation. What I'm gonna tell you guys is this: there is so much hate in the online sphere about video games, about video game companies, and like, dude, like, I'm a PlayStation guy. You guys know that I have PlayStation games. I I see some of the hate for PlayStation, and I'm not even gonna be mad. Like, you know, you be mad, but I got games to play. I'm gonna sit up here and play Astrobot. If I had the $700, I would give me a PlayStation Pro. But I play games. This like some of the hate is just weird, dog. Like for real. Some of the hate is weird because sometimes gamers get mad because they can't steal from a company. I know, right? Like, oh, this company wants me to log in with my ID. You log in the ID with everybody, but it doesn't matter because I don't like this company. Don't play their games. Why can't I play their games? You don't like the company. Still, the games is for me. Make the games for me. Don't have the woman in my games because I'm not a woman. And it was a clip of Asmongold talking about, I don't want to play as a woman. You don't want to play as a clean human being either in real life. The hate that you see for companies like Sony, well, just Sony. And this is not me being a PlayStation fanboy. It's just like, how dare they didn't make the game the perfect game like it should have. The other companies don't do the same thing. Nintendo makes games that are, well, no, it's Nintendo. Of course Nintendo is going to make a weaker power system, and of course they're going to make cartoony games. It's Nintendo. How dare you think Sony makes games that are $70. They make games expensive. Nintendo makes games at $70 all the time. But no, it's Nintendo. They're supposed to make $70 games because Nintendo. They don't have their games on a service like Xbox. It kind of destroyed their console and people buying games. No, you're supposed to make games where you can get them for free, even though they're supposed to be the bestest. And you know what? Even if you want to look at the bestest games, the bestest visuals, you don't need that. You just can use paper on a stick, on stick people for games, huh? And this is from the hate that I see from a lot of people, and I'm not even gonna say they Xbox gamers. Some of them just want what they really want, and what I suspect they want. Suspect is that they want games to be free or very, very cheap. They want very good story, and they want super quality where you can complain about artists. I mean, you can complain about corporations being greedy, but they still have artists to pay. But one of the biggest person from this, the greatest thing about Showers is like video games are optional. Well, as we go, let's go to it's Alex.
35 minutes. 35 minutes absolutely wasted that I'll never get back. Let's go. We're talking about the PlayStation.
So, mind you, this man is mad because he watched an optional show on YouTube for a gaming company that he didn't like, and he's complaining about 35 minutes of his life lost. Optional show, and that stuff in the background, that's a green screen. So, but for one, I don't like certain shows. I'm not going to watch them. Why are you taking so much time to watch an optional show? All right, let's go.
State of play and the gaming industry in itself, because honestly, that was one of the most mid things I've ever seen. Remember how we were talking about like, oh, E3 is irrelevant. We don't need E3 anymore. We have the internet. Well, you know what? I kind of want E3 back now because a company.
Don't tell me he would be one of those people that is so upset. How come I can't go to E3? I need to go to E3 to make myself seem important and get scoops that 5,000 other people are gonna do. Like, why are you mad that there's no E3? Companies can actually, and like, look, this is not a defense of any company, but companies gonna market how companies want to market. And with social media, the thing that you're making money on, the thing that I'm trying to make money on, companies feel that they can bypass a gaming group in order to give you the information that they want you to have. I'm sorry. If you have a problem with not companies telling you what they want you to know, then your problem is with capitalism, dog. Not with one particular company, but let's go.
Companies like Microsoft, PlayStation, and Nintendo are going to be basically wasting our times for 45 minutes to an hour every couple of months. Just put it on a...
Don't watch it. Don't watch it. And I have that advice for everybody that has something that they get mad about the fact that they watch it. If you're not doing it for educational purposes, if you're not doing it for critique, don't watch it. That is easy. But you have to watch it because you have to feed your fans this outrage about Sony and about gaming and about how consoles are for toy people owning the plastic toys that are making games that look better on the consoles than on your PC. That's coming out with new technology that is better than what you can actually get for your PC. What?
a blog post. Just make an announcement online. Put it as a tweet because honestly, all of that, every bit of that was an absolute waste of money, resources, and even just effort in general for the graphics you had to put out. I mean,
don't watch it. But we know why you watched it. We know why you're doing this video. Because you want outrage bait. Just say that. Say, I hate Sony. But you can't do that. You're too much of a coward to do that because maybe they're going to throw me some money to give me some more games so I can actually I can actually get a scoop and make my channel grow. Like, some of this stuff is just like, okay, you guys know I cover politics. In the politics, we saw this like 4 years ago. This stuff is just now going to gaming. The woke stuff, it's woke in DEI. Dog, what they're trying to do is outrage bait you. They're trying to outrage bait you to get you to hit those clicks. And I'm not making it any better. I'm actually covering it. But it, okay. Isn't it fun to buy a physical disc and still have to download the game? No, see, here. Most of these people that's complaining about the PS5 Pro not having a disc drive, they have PCs with no disc drive. They have PCs with no disc drive. It's like fake outrage. But let's go.
imagine being PlayStation and not only having the Horizon Forbidden West remaster, but now charging $10 for that
It's Zero Dawn remaster, which, yes, it's worth it. Well, we have it already on PlayStation 4 that you can play on PlayStation 5. No. You have a PlayStation 4 game that has the benefit of the PS5. Now they're going to have the remaster, which actually takes the model from Forbidden West, which is an awesome game. I think I streamed most of it on my channel. But Forbidden West, which is a awesome game, using the models from that. And yes, they're charging $10 for it because it costs work to do. There are people that need to get paid for the work that they did. Icon, I know you messing with me. I know you messing with me because who buys Blu-rays anymore? Who buys Blu-rays anymore? And I still have a PS4 to buy to play discs on, and I buy my movies digitally or I use Netflix. And like side note, okay, side note. So here's the thing: Microsoft thought they would become the Netflix of gaming, so you just pay for a subscription and you can just like games don't work that way. Games don't work that way, and people actually want to own their games, be it digitally or physically. And they kind of like had people that didn't want to they kind of like, you know, like crap the bed on that one, but you know, they're still in Best Buy. Yeah, no, we have this thing called Voodoo or Fandango at home. Voodoo, we have Netflix. If you want to buy your movies, like, you know, we got that, you know. Right. But for real, Microsoft thought they was the bee's knees with doing streaming gaming, and that's not how that works. They even try to do a Fire Stick for your gaming, a Fire Stick, mind you, a Fire Stick that, mind you, they charge $131 for the Fire Stick controller combo. Nah, dog, I might as well just go buy a console for that. But let's get back to the video.
Upgraded remaster if you already have the original. Something that should be in fact free. Remember how like they were walking back Horizon Forbidden West?
See, this whole thing about gamers, and what's up, Nikki? This whole thing about gamers, it should be free if they did extra work to bring you a different product. They did extra work to bring you a product. Now, gaming companies are not like you PC idiots who sit back and create mods to fix games. Literally to fix games. Now, if you can be a PC player, you put the game in, or, you know, open up Steam and play your game, that's fine. But if you actually putting in work to fix a game on PC and not getting paid for it, or not getting paid as you should be getting paid for it, then you're an idiot. Well, all you have to do is you have to fix this, No. Me play game. Me download game. Me go to game and press start. Game work. I'm happy with that. Yeah. I just don't understand. I don't understand having to work to play a game. And I stream games. I try to actually make it a job to stream games. But I am not going to work to play a game. Not going to happen. Okay. So people that's asking, I know that there are still digital movies. I actually have some digital movies, but when it comes down to it, if the movies that I have in DVD can also be digitally, I'm gonna do that, because one, I change out consoles. Two, like, seriously, I literally, how do I put it? I would rather take the licensing with me, and I know that there's a big problem in, got a hair in my mouth, and not the good kind. I know that there is an issue with digital licenses. I know the thing with PlayStation that happened earlier this year about how they were going to take some movies that you may have bought off of the store, that not that it's going to be pulled off your console, but you couldn't download them again. That wasn't Sony's fault. That was literally Discovery. A lot of people Yeah, Voodoo, that's what I have myself. A lot of people actually wanted to blame Sony for that because they were the marketplace, which they should accept some blame for it. But your problem is actually with copyright. The problem is just copyright. And again, copyright has some good and has some bad. But the problem was copyright. Because what happens is, if I sell you something, if I say, hey, you can have this product, but my right to sell it expires, I can't sell that to you anymore. That's copyright law. That's not, well, Sony just wants to be evil. These game companies want to be evil, delisting games. I saw that Mudahar video. I was like, dog, some of it is that they lost rights to the songs. They lost right to a certain part of that media that's part of their games. And while they're trying to get you mad about it, they don't tell you the full thing. Because they think, oh, yeah, you shouldn't care about that. Oh, that's just corporations being greedy. Like, yeah, of course, that's corporations being greedy. But you have to recognize the correct corporations and the correct reason why. This is why I have a problem with some of the people on the left. Because they don't pay attention to that. They don't understand it. Things like that, where they literally say, well, let's do this big, simple answer to this problem. But it has so many nuances. And they get mad when they, oh, well, why don't you just press the communism button? No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. But I'm off on a rant. Let me get back to the video.
The $10 upgrade fee from PS4 to PS5. Well, it's Sony, so they want your $10 anyways. Better give it to them, or else you're not going to get more exposure and saturation inside of your video game. What are you doing, you
More exposure and saturation. The models look different. Again, this video, he's trying to make you mad. He's trying to actually say, oh, no, it's going to be this, it's going to be that. Mind you, this is to an audience of people that haven't played the game, that haven't played the difference between the two games. I spent 100 hours in both games, my friend. There is a difference between the models in Zero Dawn and the way that style looks than Forbidden West. Why are you trying to minimize it? And if that's the case, these are some of the same people that like, no, PC better because it makes it look better. It gives you a better texture. It gives you a better. Then don't play it, man. Don't play it. It's the same thing I say to these people that complain about DEI. If you don't like it, don't play it. There are a ton of games. The Last of Us. I've never picked up a Last of Us game because I don't think I like it. Not to say it's a bad game, and for me to say like, oh, it's bad because I don't think I would like it. No, you saw me. You guys saw me. I tried to play Stellar Blade. The video review is on my channel. I said, hey, it seems cool, but it's just not my cup of tea. But these people are just getting you so outraged. It reminds me of what the conservatives are doing to the country. But let's go.
Clowns, you're paying $10 for this? The PC version is what you're paying for? Wow. And let me not get started on like the whole, now apparently they want to add the actual PSN login for getting the upgraded version. So you didn't need the PSN login on PC for Horizon Forbidden West originally, but now you do need it for the remaster.
It's their game. Don't play it if you don't want to. It's their policy. These are some of the same people that have a Steam account. Oh, I don't want this company having my personal information. Dog, you have a Steam account. They are looking at the performance of your machine. It is DRM all up through Steam. And you mad about... No, you know what you mad about? You know what you want to do? You want to be able to mod a game and not get caught. You want to be able to steal games and not get caught. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. You want to be able to say, like, I mean, like, you hear the argument, well, you can't do mods on a console. I don't need a mod where Aloy is walking around in just bikini for the whole game. Or have, how do I put it? Because people who play PCs knows that they always try to have this mod. Have, you know, female mammary glands up top, but a male member on the bottom. I don't need a mod like that. I want to use the creator's artistic vision of why they actually made the game that they made. Yeah, there are. We know that. We know mostly on Xbox, but like not on not as much on PlayStation. I know. Roll with me. I'm doing a bit. All right, well, let's go.
So I guess you're going to get 0 sales for the remaster because you're not going to sell it in 180 countries because you need the PSN login. And on top of that, you don't even need...
They know that. They know that. Again, weren't you just criticizing a company for trying to make as much money as they can? But when they do something that shows that maybe they don't want that money if they can't make that standard, they know that. They know that. You were just criticizing a company about trying to be greedy and get your $10. But when they do a stance where they have a requirement that can't be done in 180 countries, like you really care, now it's a problem that they're not trying to make all the money? Come on.
Need the login because Ragnarok didn't need it. You could just get a mod to strip it out, and you made it Steam Deck compatible. So that means you never need it in the first place because your login doesn't even work on Linux. This company is on.
Yeah, there was a big thing about how they started requiring it. And the reason why they started requiring it is because one, they wanted to actually police the people that were, saying slurs or trying to cheat. And then when they say, okay, we're not going to do it for this title, but we're going to do it for every other title, the PC guys lost it because they thought they bullied Sony into doing one thing. And when Sony said, okay, you got the win for this particular battle, and the other ones, nah, dog, we going to make that requirement. You got a problem with it? Sucks for you. Or you got a problem with it? You already bought the game. Let me refund you. Yeah. They have a requirement. There's more. Yeah. See. Here's the thing about doing that, about fixing bugs. The game should already come without having the bugs. And there are people that's like, oh, the game isn't optimized for PC. You can't optimize a game for the full range of PC specs is out there because that's infinite. But there's been a problem in consoles too ever since the Xbox. Then it goes, those problems that you're talking about, I know go directly to the game. If a game doesn't work well, it's more on the game versus the consoles. But the games that are made specifically for consoles, like GTA 6, or let's go to games like Astrobot, Spider-Man 2, Ragnarok, which looks better on the PlayStation versus the PCs, there is a difference because the architecture is different.
Honestly, I don't know what is happening with the gaming industry right now, but I did not need what felt like 6 hours of Dragon Age to be just shoved down my throat running at 15 frames per second. Look,
I would make the joke about maybe he's thinking too much about things getting shoved down his throat. But that's not an insult to this cat, which, hey, more power to him. Like, he came out, slapping the booty, he's one of those guys. But you know what? Cool beans. It is okay now that a lot of gamers who usually like, oh, that's gay, are actually embracing who they want to be. But we gotta stop people saying, stop shoving it down my throat. Like, God, stop. Just don't. All right, let's go.
Looking like absolute garbage the entire time. How much did EA have to pay PlayStation to get that in there? It boggles my mind. The fact that we had to start out with like something like Astrobot, which, yeah, okay, cool, that's fine. But then the rest of the show was just a bunch of...
You can't even say nothing bad about Astrobot. That win that PlayStation got about their games? No, fine. They got a win. They got an L. I mean, they got a W. W Astrobot. But all the other stuff was bad.
Mid. look, if you're going to sit there and say, here's a state of play of all the games that are coming out for us in the future, don't waste our times. If you're going to come out here and say, look, we're going to be giving you guys all these great games, and you're going to be loving the fact that you bought a PlayStation, then prove it. Then show it. You know,
Spider-Man 2, Ragnarok, Astrobot. What's some other games I play on PlayStation that's exclusive to PlayStation? 820 God of War 2018 when it came out, the original Spider-Man, Miles Morales, you know, Horizon, you know, Zero Dawn and Forbidden West. Ooh, the Burning Shores was actually good. Like, we have these things. These people that are like, PlayStation doesn't have any game. Where have you been? Even games that I don't like, Rise of the Roman, I didn't get that. Stellar Blade, you know, Final Fantasy 7 Remake or Rebirth, whatever like that. Those are games that are on the PlayStation. Ratchet and Clank. Again, like I keep telling people this. I want the Ghost series of Ghost of Tsushima and Ghost of Yotei to fail because I want my Infamous 3. I want Cole McGrath to come back, not because he's some stoic white guy. Like no, he like super progressive. But it's just like, I want to see an open world game where Cole is just going out there and runs into Desmond or Dustin, whatever, the dusty graffiti artist. I was like, oh, I'm a bike messenger and I'm a slacker, but I'm gonna show you who's worst of a slacker. And just comes and he electrocutes him. Like, you want to steal my power? Well, I'm gonna give you all the power I can. I've thought way too much about this meeting. I know. I'm sorry. Let Cole be the evil Cole, the one that, you know, spoilers for Infamous 2, beat his friend to death because, you know, he tried to kill him. Oh, let him be evil Cole with the red lightning just come up. It's like, oh, oh, you have smoke powers? Let me show you how to start a fire. All that being said, of course, I hope Ghost of Yotei actually does well because, you know, we need another samurai game. Somebody else to make these people that's mad about DEI mad because, you know, women can't hold swords. How dare a black man hold a katana? All right, let's go.
Sitting there in the entire time waiting for something to happen at the very end, it's going to be Ghost of Tsushima 2. When it's not Ghost of Tsushima 2, it's Ghost of Yotei, and it's a whole different character, whole different person, whole different thing entirely. Honestly, I thought it was just going to be an expansion to Ghost of Tsushima.
So, wait, first of all, again, this is Sucker Punch. I just made the whole reference about them giving up, you know, Cole McGrath for Desmond Miles, whatever he calls. I don't, you know, graffiti guy. They do that. They will get rid of a protagonist in the series to go to another protagonist to tell a different story. It's Sucker Punch. There are still people that are mad about Sly Cooper not being a new Sly Cooper being dropped. Like, wait, what? It's Sucker Punch. What do you expect? I'm sorry. Wait. How dare Jen get a happy ending? He finished his story, and we don't have to put him through any more misery now. Like, the dude saw like his whole family get slaughtered, and he became a rogue ninja, not ninja, but he became a rogue samurai, and he cut a path of bloody revenge that he finally got. And oh, look, let's do it to somebody else. Like, what? What? All right, let's go.
I didn't think it was going to be a sequel. You know, expansions? You kids may not know what those are. When you used to buy a video game, right, you would get an actual expansion, which is like a side story or a continuation of like a separate thing that would happen under the same name of the game, but then it would be like $40 instead, and you get to play like a...
They're called DLC now, old man. Are you going to be talking about Get Off Our Lawn next? Like, what? What? They are DLC. We have those. Stop. I just mentioned Burning Shore. That was an expansion pack or DLC. Stop it. Again, he's trying to just rage bait you because reasons. Let's go.
Another 8 to 10 hours. Things like Half-Life Blue Shift or stuff like that, or Fear Extraction Point. Those are expansions to video games. They weren't the full price, but you know, this is going to be $70 as they always tend to be. Thanks, PlayStation. And I'm going to do a hot.
Dude, PlayStation didn't start that. EA did. EA started charging people $70 for what is effectively a roster update with the whole Madden stuff. Like, seriously, that companies like Ubisoft, that wasn't PlayStation, my guy. And if you want to talk about, they always, I don't have to pay for an online service. Are you mad at Microsoft for starting Xbox Live? Come on, guy. Come on. It's just fake hate against Sony. Be mad about the industry. Be mad about capitalism. But it's Sony's fault.
Hot take right now. It looked exactly like the first Ghost of Tsushima. I don't care. I said it. I literally thought it looked exactly like the first Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know what you guys are seeing. Maybe it's my old eyes and my old age, but
maybe it's I want to get a paycheck for making people mad about Sony. Like, come on now. You know, the people that they hold up to, like, you know, standards of prophets and apostles, Digital Foundry is like, oh no, it looks better. It looks different. There's some ghosting and aliasing on the video, but yeah, YouTube compression, dog. Like, for real, this is just outrage bait. I don't know. It just seems like it's just outrage bait. Oh God, we have 14 minutes left. All right, I'm gonna try to stop pausing as much.
They look exactly
Pause.
the same. I don't know what you're talking about built from the PS5 up, because it looked like a PS4 game, which is exactly what Tsushima looked like. So what are we doing here in video game graphics in the first place? And I'm going to be honest about graphics in the video game space right now. The thing is...
Oh, he's going to be honest for once. Back in the day, companies could get away with a moderate budgeting game with a smaller but higher quality scope. You're right. So Massifying, you're right. They could. And part of it's their fault, because what they did push for is better graphics, better fidelity. And I'm not going to really pick on you about this. And I'm not going to like really pick on you in two ways. But as an artist, you know how it feels, how you want to actually show something to somebody and you can't quite get it like you want to. But if you could get it how you want to, because I'm saying, because I'm guilty myself. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, if I can make something look really, really good, I'm gonna do that, because I want people to see my vision. And like, if you guys don't know, Master Fan is actually working on a video game, which, from everything I've seen him create, it actually looks really good. And yo, check out his channel. He's actually a great artist. He does a lot of, not in a derogatory way, not in a porn way, but he does a lot of furry art. Not that type of furry art. Get your minds out together. But like, really check out his channel. Check out his Twitch streams. But we run into this, as we just been noticed. Like, a lot of people are just, companies are just trying to do infinite growth. And yeah, that's where a lot of this comes from. But let's go.
Is graphics now suck. They suck. They're horrible. I don't know why every game has to look the exact same now. They all have the same art style. They have the same visuals. They have the same textures. Everything is just Unreal Engine, or it just looks the same. Whatever happened to like people having different styles of art? What happened?
Well, a lot of people don't have imagination, so they need to have things looking real and lifelike, and beating that, uncanny valley where everything has to have the greatest height of, graphic fidelity. There are some companies and some games to get away with it. The aforementioned Astrobot gets away with it. but there's a lot of visual detail in the Astrobot. It may look like the art style is kind of like simple, but there's a lot of details. As somebody who did an Astrobot picture, like literally there is details that you have to get right and makes it feel right. There are things that you actually see. There's things that you actually see where it's just like, yeah, no, I say this all because the games that look poor, that look like they don't have a certain type of art directions, don't sell. But let's go. Here's the thing. If it's a win on PlayStation, Hi-Fi Rush is the best thing ever. If it's a win on PlayStation. Well, let's go.
I need to know, because the fact that I can sit there and play Elden Ring, a previous generation game, and I can stop in the middle of playing that game and just pan the camera and look at the vistas in that game itself, even though the graphics aren't technically impressive or they're not the cleanest or whatever, I am in awe at how beautiful that game actually is. Hauntingly beautiful at how that game actually is. And it didn't need high-end graphics and realistic weight tracing to impress someone like me. No, it didn't. It just needed to look good.
Then you're just simple. And I'm sorry. If you looked at the screen and videos of Elden Rings, are night and day different from a game like, I don't know, Dark Souls 2 or 3. The only reason why you can look at Demon Souls and say Demon Souls is on the level of something like Elden Ring is literally because Demon Souls has a PlayStation 5 release. We know that, dog. Why are you lying? Elden Ring actually does have, it doesn't have a crisp look because it seems like there's a fog over everything, but if you pull that back, it has a crisp look. But let's go.
It's probably because I'm old. It's probably because I grew up in the PS1, PS2, SNES generation, where every game had to differentiate itself from other games to get your attention, and you had to do something vastly different to garner that attention and to make someone spend that money on your video game, where every game played differently, looked differently, had different audio, different styles, and you can say, look at this breadth of catalog of games here. We don't have that anymore. Now it's...
And a lot of the games were shovelware. Like, these people that, oh, I remember when you used to play Nintendo games and it was different, and Super Nintendo games and it was different, and Sega games, you know, Sega does what Nintendo doesn't. Like, a lot of those games were shovelware, dog. I know. I was there. Nobody remembers the Noid video game. I mean, like, people do because of the tragedy that happened with it. That's a different story. But nobody remembers the McDonald's video game. Yes, there was a McDonald's video game. Stop lying, man. I get it. Most of the people that probably watch your channel aren't old enough to remember some of the games. Like, case in point, you can actually go back and watch it and look at it. The Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy ran like garbage compared to some other games. Like, I'm not talking about like I'm talking about the original one. It ran like garbage. It ran so much like garbage to play that they had to come out with a remake that made it actually better to play. You're lying, dog, to promote something on your... There were several McDonald's games. We don't talk about that. Nobody remembers Mario is missing and you do the Luigi Learn game. Like, how they had Yoshi on a game before Yoshi even came out. I mean, like, nobody talks about that one. All right, let's go.
UE5 ray trace reflections. What did Digital Foundry say? 400% zoom in. Now look at the difference in the video game. Oh, that one's trash. That one isn't, because I'm zooming in 600%. And Alex Battaglia said the shadows are better with ray traced AO, not with the regular butt mapping tech. Shut the up. Shut up. Nobody cares. Shut up. It's coming to the point now where people have to spend $700 extra on an iterative console to finally get the performance they were promised from the first place and the original.
First of all, nobody promised that in the first place. Nope, nobody promised that in the first place, dog. Nobody promised that in the first place. There were rumors that the Xbox was gonna give that, but Sony never promised that. Dog, they knew they were making games for the consoles when they put it out. That's why they had Miles Morales, and then you knew with Miles Morales, one, that PS5 was awesome because I got Miles Morales, Spider-Man Miles Morales, and you knew how well they can actually do, but they wanted more. And you don't have to buy $700 for the console. That's the thing. You don't have to pay $700 for a new console. You can either keep your PS5 or get the PS5. Nobody's forcing that down your throat. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. You can either choose to buy it or you can deal with your FOMO. If your FOMO don't have a $700 price tag on it, don't buy it. Just like you didn't have to watch the show. Am I missing something? You know how long it took me a year after the PlayStation 5 came out to get it. I was still playing my PS4, which eventually burnt out because I used my PlayStation. I used the heck out of my PlayStation. But nobody forced me to buy something. I wanted to. Let's go.
Console that they paid $500 for, and 4 years of online. We are 4 years into this generation, and not one game has sat there and said, hey, look at me, I'm amazing. Besides, honestly, Baldur's Gate 3 is the game of the gen. That is literally...
What? Wait, what? I don't know. Maybe because I didn't play Baldur's Gate. It didn't look like... Look, check it out. I was never a big fan of Dungeons and Dragons, and for you to think that I'm just, minimizing it to Dungeons and Dragons. No, like, literally, I was never a big fan of Dungeons and Dragons. I barely played Diablo 2 or 3, which both of them I have. But I was never a big fan of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm sorry. But I'm pretty sure there are some good games. Again, Spider-Man 2 is awesome. That opening scene where you see Sandman throwing both of them around and just the loading of that, awesome. But maybe I'm just biased. God of War Ragnarok, just they just have talking cutscenes so they can have they had talking scenes so they can actually pace out the game in a way that they wanted to pace out. Stuff like that you couldn't find in previous generations. But yeah, maybe I missed something. Yeah, I don't know. Let's continue.
Literally the game of the gen. I'm sorry. And it is not the prettiest looking game. So I don't know what to tell you guys about that. Yes, it clears Elden Ring. I don't know what to tell you about that, but it just goes to show that maybe graphics aren't the most important thing, Sony. You could do other things as well. Because honestly,
they're giving you 60 frames per second with better graphics. And as somebody who plays in performance mode, if they're going to make the pictures look prettier, I'm going to like it. I'm sorry. Yeah. All right, let's go.
The most exciting part of that entire showcase wasn't Ghost of Tsushima 2. It wasn't all the other games that are coming out. It was a remaster of 2 PlayStation 1 games. Let me rephrase that. It was a remaster of a Sega Saturn game that was ported to a PlayStation game and a PS1 game.
He's trying so hard not to say, no, it's a PlayStation game. No, it's not a PlayStation game. This is just outrage bait. I don't know how much more I can take of this. This is just outrage. You hate Sony? Well, I hate Sony too. Come on over to my side. That's all this seems like it is. All right, well, let's go.
That are being remastered to today's age. Those were the best announcements at that showcase. Legacy.
No, it wasn't. You want it to be, but it wasn't.
Of Kane's Soul Reaver, which honestly, it is a crime if you haven't played that game. I highly recommend you do so. That is one of the best.
Lock me up.
best games ever made, and Lunar Silver Star Story Complete, which one of the best JRPGs.
Xenogears. Xenogears. Ooh, 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 ooh. Chrono Trigger.
Honestly ever made, in my opinion, next to Grandia, which really, it's just so.
Yeah, dude is going insane. I can't watch any more of this. I'm sorry, guys. It's done. I'm done. Like, I can throw games up that I like, that I used to play. Ooh. A game that's free right now. It's free right now because you have the free with subscription that you can just get for free. Jet Moto and Jet Moto 2. What? Those are PlayStation games. They're old games, and you can actually play them again because reasons. I'm like, come on. All this is just. I haven't played it. I'll be honest with you, I haven't played it. I literally played Chrono Trigger, the Xenogears. I want a remake of The Illusion of Gaia. But again, these are like just my things that I like. But yeah, no. Yeah, I've gotten my feel of this. Just like, share, and subscribe. I want to thank everybody who's watched this clip, and yeah. Thank you guys, and we're gonna cut that segment here. If you're watching on stream, stick along. We're gonna have some more stuff to cover. All right. I'm gonna try to make this next one quick. It's my energy's starting to fall and all this other good stuff, and yeah, no, we're gonna do it like this. So anyway, all right. So I want to tell you guys some stuff. I want to tell you something that well, if you may not have noticed, I'm a black guy. Hello, skin, black guy. And there are certain things that we learn that we hope never to actually have to experience in life. One, like, be careful about, like, the actual, be careful around police. Stay woke, meaning that, keep your head on a swivel. Always be conscious of your surroundings. Be conscious of what's going on. The real meaning of the word woke. Also, like, when you're going in the criminal justice system, never make the judge mad. Never make the judge mad. Because when you make the judge mad, that's the person that's worrying about your sentences. I don't know. And the thing about it is, these people that were around during January 6th, that's actually running into the criminal justice systems, that they thought, but I'm white, I don't need to worry about that. They're realizing that even though the justice system isn't as just as we want it to be, some of the stuff that they doing are leading them into a path of, oh crap, this is what them colored people have been talking about. Especially some of the rich ones now. Boy, oh boy, this is being fun. And like, you guys know, I'm not one of those like, oh, the white people, all this, like, I'm not the super privileged, like, super, like, and super SJW type, leftist. Even though I think that people deserve their rights and you should treat people with some respect. Wait. Everybody needs to remember the 5th. Wait. This gets better. This is an exchange from a county clerk that actually tried to hack some of the voting machines because they wanted to prove that the election was off or stolen or whatever. I need y'all to see this interaction that this woman actually does and actually says to a judge. She needs her a black mama, a black daddy, somebody black in her life, not to talk to a judge this way. Shall we? Let's go.
In the machine, whatever it tabulates is whatever it tabulates.
No, it doesn't. It changes.
You're not letting me finish.
Okay,
whatever
please.
it tabulates is whatever it tabulates. My hand vote, my ballot remains the same. They counted those ballots.
Yes, Ms. Keeper, I highlighted the fact that some people still refer to black people as colored folks. Yes, I did. That is a thing that happens. There are people who still refer to black people as the colored or the blacks. Remember, somebody went on a hunger strike because they didn't give them organic food. All right, wait. Let's go.
Did they not?
I understand what you're saying, Your Honor.
Did they count the ballots?
No, the ballot images were changed, and that's what the total shows. Okay, I'll move off of this because I can see that it, I would encourage to read the report number 3.
She said, I'm going to move off of this because you just need to read the reports. You just need to read the report. Wait, what? Wait. This is a judge. They determine your sentencing. If she better be thankful this wasn't a bench trial, because she just told the judge, like, you didn't read the evidence. This is a judge. They have to read the evidence. What? Obviously, you didn't read the evidence. What? Let's go.
Read them, ma'am.
You've read all of them?
I've read those reports. They were given to me at some point, I believe.
Good. Well, so you know what I'm saying is true. All right.
If you read it, then you know what I said is true. She wasn't even looking at him what she said. You can tell by the way her head is directed. Like, yeah, you better told you to read that. So I'm right. The judge let out a chuckle like, do you know I have your life in my hands? And I told you I don't agree with it? All right, let's go.
Let me move on. It's not funny. My life is on the line here, Your Honor.
No.
Wait, you just sassed the judge and he laughed at you because he knows his life is in your hand. He knows your life is on the line, and you just sassed the judge and you got because he laughed. Somebody needs to get this woman a black auntie, a black mama, a black cousin. Somebody needs to get this woman at, because like she needs to understand. You don't talk to a judge that way. All right, let's go.
You're the one who's making this allegation that, one,
It's
I think
not
is
an
funny,
allegation.
and two, that I know it's true. You're saying that as if I believe you, and I did not say that.
Okay.
That is why
All
I made the sound, because it's insulting to me for you to just put that in a record in front of all of these people that I believe something to be true.
Okay, and I apologize for that, Your Honor. That wasn't my intent. I do apologize for that.
So here's the thing, and this is the most important part of it. More than anything, you have to realize that she had that interaction with the judge like right before the sentencing. She had this interaction with the judge right before the sentencing. And so here's the thing. This is the reason why I brought up the fact that black people have been saying that the justice system is, you don't make the judge mad before, you treat the court with respect and stuff like that. Especially if you're trying to, after you've done something that has been proven that you bragged is illegal. This is why I bring this up. Because this is the judge sentencing this woman. Let's go.
Here, the defense has, and Ms. Peters in particular, has remained quite defiant, which is her right, but certainly not helpful for her lot today. And in arguing why I should impose a particular sentence, she tells me about her ailments, her loss, her struggles in life. But in reality, for those of you who may have been here earlier this morning and seen some of the folks who've occupied that chair before Ms. Peters.
So, again, just all seriousness aside, we know that the criminal justice system needs to be changed. Either we need to actually look at, more rehabilitation, more versus just punishment. In cases where it's punishment is warranted, we have to apply it in a just and unbiased state. And we need to address the things of the criminal justice system. But when you're openly defiant, when you're belittling a judge, and you're like literally just saying like, yo, I'm right, I'm right, that doesn't fly. Now, us black people, we've been saying that for the longest time, that we need to like do something about the criminal justice system. Even people that we've known that are criminals, prison reform is something, or the justice system reform is something that affects everybody. But when you actively insert your foot into your own mouth and you say, well, no, you need to show me leniency, I have health concerns, but you're openly defiant as what this judge is actually saying now. Well, you've been playing stupid games. Time to win your stupid prize.
There could be not much in the way of a comparison in terms of the type of sympathy one would extend to Ms. Peters. Those folks didn't have 4 lawyers representing them. They didn't have a team of assistants helping them. They're not getting rides in private jets all over the country. No, the people who sit in that chair suffer, generally speaking, immeasurable trauma in life, struggle mightily with alcohol abuse, substance abuse, mental health struggles, family loss.
So, like, literally, he's going out. I was like, yo, like, I've seen people that sat in your chair that were actually more remorseful, that actually had to deal with being mentally ill, had to deal with family loss. They didn't have 4 lawyers. Yet she had 4 lawyers. She had assistants. She couldn't get off with 4 lawyers. 4 lawyers. She's getting flown around she's getting flown around the country because she's the hero that MAGA needs, but not well, I guess she is the one that they deserve. But let's go.
They come from broken homes. The cards they were dealt were never the cards that you were dealt, Ms. Peters. So when I hear you discuss your husband, who sadly passed away recently, your family struggles, and your son, who served our country admirably and made the ultimate sacrifice, I consider it.
So this is the reason why I wanted to do this video. This is the reason why I searched for it. I want to send out my condolences for her recent loss. But for the judge to bring up the fact that her son served in the armed forces and lost his life to protect the Constitution, this judge is taking that as an insult to her son, that she would try to tamper with our elections. I think y'all need to understand the point that this man is actually making. And I'm not going to say, oh, y'all, base judge. Like, look, he is literally having to tell her, like, look, chick, your son gave up his life, no matter if you think it was an unjust war or not, but he gave up his life to hold up the Constitution. And you spat on that. That's like somebody grabbing you and saying, this person sacrificed for the right to hold up our country. And you as his mother should understand. You spat on that. And it's for fame. It's for notoriety. How dare you sully the sacrifice of your own son for this? But let's go.
And I note, too, that he honored his oath to the country, something that is not lost on me when considering the circumstances under which you find yourself here. Your age, limited criminal history, and the like are certainly somewhat mitigating. Your ties to the community are what they are, but your reputation at this point is poor because of what you've done here and after. Your lies.
Hot to it. All right, let's go.
Are well documented, and these convictions are serious. I'm convinced you would do it all over again if you could. You're as defiant as a defendant as this court has ever seen.
So he is literally saying, like, yeah, we know you lying. We have you on tape. We have the recording. You are caught in 4K. And shout out to RDC World One, who are literally coming up with that. People don't give them credit, but they came up with that. It's like, is this you? This is in 4K. They got you in 4K. He was the first person. They were the first person that actually said that. But like, yeah, no, for real, for real. They was like, chick, we got you in 4K. Like, we know that you are lying. We got you. And to come up in this courtroom and just lie when we got you, you should have plead the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 5. The fifth. Just shut up on shutting up. That's what you should have done. But let's continue.
You don't have those histories of drug and alcohol abuse. There's no lifetime of trauma, not even close to the type of mitigating circumstances I would see from many folks who sit in that chair. No, to the contrary, Ms. Peters, you are a privileged person. You are as privileged as they come.
Man.
And you use that privilege to obtain power, a following, and fame. And to be sure, there's no doubt in my mind that it's exactly what you wanted, and it defies all sense of common sense to believe when you suggested to me a few moments ago that you didn't want this attention. No, you crave it, ma'am.
He just said, nah, you don't. You want an attention, you need it. You put that in my veins. Attention. I need my 15 minutes of fame. Let's go.
And there is no one in this courtroom who would consider that to be anything other than the absolute truth. But to get to the point of what it is that you did here, it's my impression distinctly that you never took your job of clerking particularly seriously. You didn't complete the certification. One scandal after another followed you in your time as the clerk. And ultimately, it was a belief that the echo chamber in which you live couldn't be wrong.
Man, so if you actually thought that she cared about her job as a clerk, that she did what she did, because I know we have to keep the election, secure and valid and all that other good stuff. You're like, dude, you ain't even finish your homework for the job. You didn't finish your homework. We saw you mess up. We saw you bring potato salad with raisins to the company lunch. We know what you're doing, dog. We know that it's a lie. The cake is a lie. We know it. This was just about getting power for you. And if we go back to that previous videos that we did earlier, these are like people that, you know, Joe Lewi wants to be a part of. Not saying he wants to be a part of MAGA, but he wants to be part of that ruling class. People that will do or say crazy stuff in order to get attention. Let's continue.
Among other things that led you to do what you did here. This thought process, unfortunately, seems to consume so many in our country, regardless of race, gender, political affiliation, or the like, that what it is we hear and think can't possibly be wrong. There are many things in my mind.
Potato salad with raisins and apple crunch. Apple chunks,
that are crystal clear about this case. You are no hero, you abused your position, and you're a charlatan who used and is still using your prior position in office to peddle a snake oil that's been proven to be junk time and time again. In your world, it's all about you. But at bottom, this case was about your corrupt conduct and how no one is above the law. No one.
Oh, God, that, like, you don't get privilege, chick. You going to jail. Because you lied. We have you in 4K. You lied. You lied.
One in this country has absolute power. Your position as a clerk and recorder, a constitutional position, does not provide you with a means by which to do your own investigation, to not listen to the judiciary, to not listen to the executives higher than you, to not listen to the legislature who sets the law as it may be. This is nonsense. Our system of government can't function when people in government think that somehow, some way, the power they've been given is absolute in all respects. And that's where you...
This seems like a shot against what the Supreme Court just said, but I don't know. I mean, like, it's not like they had political leanings to say, oh, they did. Okay. All right, let's go.
Fell. You have no respect for the checks and balances of government. You have no respect for this court. You have no respect for law enforcement. And you do not have respect for your fellow colleagues when you were a clerk and recorder who weren't lockstep in your beliefs. Period.
It's like, you don't even respect. You don't even respect yourself. You didn't even respect, and this is getting serious. You didn't respect the sacrifice that your son gave to the Constitution. You thought you just wanted power. And again, this is a case of the lepers are eating my face, because I can tell you this: if the people that she wants to get power gets power, well, those lepers are gonna be coming. Okay, let's go.
Indeed, just weeks before trial, you were apparently doing what I mentioned earlier, that is, over at the clerk and recorder's office where you're not supposed to be, violating the protection order by speaking to employees of that entity with your camera crew in tow.
You went to court to prove that you didn't do a crime that they have video of you doing. They put a restraining order on you from going to the place that you committed the crime, and you went there. Oh no, this is about publicity for her. She wants to show that she's a martyr, and the judge is about to give the nails for she can put herself on that cross. Let's go.
You have no qualms with violating the court's orders because you're innocent, because you didn't do anything wrong. You were just doing your job. You have no problem trying to kick an officer. Your explanation about what happened is preposterous. It's on video.
Wait, she kicked the officer too? Oh, she kicked the cop. Oh, she better be lucky she wasn't resisting arrest. Oh, Oh, you don't respect the court. You don't respect law enforcement. Oh, she about to get that book. She about to get that book thrown. He about to sit back and just like, yeah. All right, let's go.
You have no problem lying to officers. It's happened multiple times. They're recorded conversations. It's just more lies. No objective person believes them. No, at the end of the day, you cared about the jets, the podcasts, and the people fawning over you. You abdicated your position as a servant to the Constitution, and you chose you over all else. Yes, you are a charlatan, and you cannot help.
Man, that's a 3-syllable insult. Charlatan. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Help but lie as easy it is for you to breathe. You betrayed your oath for no one other than you. And this is what makes Miss Peters such a danger to our community. It's the position she held that has provided her the pulpit from which she can preach these lies. The undermining of our democratic process, the undermining of the belief and confidence in our election systems. It's not about questioning it. No one says you can't question, you can't ask. It's completely different. And if you don't understand that distinction, then there's nothing I can say or do here today that will change your mind. So the damage that is caused and continue to be caused is just as bad, if not worse, than the physical violence that this court sees on an all too regular basis.
Here's that wind up for that book.
And it's particularly damaging when those words come from someone who holds a position of influence like you. Every effort to undermine the integrity of our elections and public's trust in our institutions has been made by you. You've done it from that lectern the voting public provided you with. Everything you've done has been done to retain control, influence. The damage is immeasurable. And every time it gets refuted, every time it's shown to be false, just another tale is weaved.
So this is the reason, another reason why I brought up that previous video of her just telling the judge. Of course, you either you didn't read it or you're just lying about not believing it, or you're laughing at me because my life is on the line. This is behavior that you don't do for a judge that is handling your sentence. This is why this is hilarious, because there is video of her literally pushing a lie. They have it in 4K. But let's go.
So I'll begin by saying I've considered all of those purposes of staying of an execution of a sentence. I've mentioned.
She wanted, even though she was found guilty, she felt it was okay. It felt that it was one of those things where it just happened, and I'm not really guilty, even though I'm guilty, but I'm not really guilty. I shouldn't have to go to jail. Mind you, she actually literally argued with the judge at a time where she knew she was found guilty. So again, here's that wind up for that book.
All of them here generally in my comments already, and I find that a stay of any sentence I impose would be wholly unwarranted. All cases have a possibility of reversal on appeal, no doubt. I'm at peace with all of the decisions I've made here. If anything, I gave you and your counsel far too much leeway at times, but the rulings I made came after much consideration, incredible amounts of internal debate, and I trust in accordance with the applicable law. I consider the sentence here, in this case, what are available to me. Probation. Community corrections wasn't requested, but it wouldn't be an option in any event, and an incarcerative sentence to the Department of Corrections.
So here's the thing. He just throws out community service like, nah, that's not gonna work, because the community gave you the trust of an elected office and you took a dump on it. But let's go.
Probation's focus is rehabilitation. That is, for folks who have minimal criminal histories, low LSI scores like you, Ms. Peters, but where punishment isn't really on the table. It's about putting someone back in the community who's not a risk and giving them a chance to correct those things that brought them before me in the first place. Community corrections, which again isn't available, but nevertheless I'll mention, is another option that I could still order. It's much more stringent than probation, but it's not prison. And it's for folks who have even higher needs. Again, drug addicts, alcohol abusers, and the like. And prison is for those folks where we send people who are a danger to all of us. Whether it be by the pen or the sword or the word of the mouth.
Ooh.
Prison is where folks go, where punishment is what we're focused on, because the crime committed is so significant that anything less would unduly mitigate the seriousness of the same.
Wait for it.
I mentioned before there are no mental health concerns. There's no good reason why you're here, Ms. Peters, other than these are all the active decisions that you made that cost our county significantly, but also more importantly, cost you greatly, Mr. Wood, all the members of the county who worked and trusted you when you asked them to do things that they did on your behalf. It's part of your lies. The expense, the toll is immeasurable. So putting you on probation when you have zero needs that would be met by probation is the very definition.
This man says, you don't deserve probation because it ain't gonna work. He spelled it out, specifically spelled it out. It was like, yeah, no, this not gonna work for you. Not only that, community service, again, it's not gonna work for you. So let's get down to the punishment.
Of unduly depreciating the significance of what it is that you've done here, the harm that you've caused our community and continue to cause. Community corrections is the same, so prison is the only place that duly meets the purposes of sentencing in this matter. And therefore the sentence and judgment of the court is as follows. As to counts 1 and 4, the judgment and sentence of the court is 3.5 years in the Department of Corrections. Those sentences will be concurrent to each other. As to count 2, the judgment and sentence of the court is 3.5 years consecutive to counts 1 and 4.
7 years.
As it relates to the misdemeanor charges, count 8 is 120 days
3 months
in the Mesa County Detention Facility, concurrent to count 9 and 10, which will be 6 months in the Mesa County Detention Facility. Consecutive to the prison sentence. The reason those sentences are consecutive is because those sentences are, as the prosecution stated, directly related to what it is that you did here in our community, the damage you caused this community, the breach of your oath to the electorate in Mesa County.
There's that book.
Your sentence will be followed by 3 years of parole. You have 2 days of pre-sentence confinement credit.
There goes that. She got 3 years parole. But for what I count, that's about 8 years. There goes that book.
Anything I missed? Anything else we need to address?
Judge, I think you missed a sentencing on count 6.
Oh, you missed another sentencing on another count.
Oh, I'm sorry. Count 6 is criminal impersonation. That's also consecutive. That's 15 months to the Department of Corrections.
Another year, 3 months. Man. It's not that I'm laughing at the fact that somebody's going to jail because, jail sucks. It's the fact that she thought she can get away with it in 4K. Of course we know Donald Trump, our Trump God, our Trump Lord, our Trump and Savior. But this is what it costs you to have blind obedience to a person. And of course, all sycophants are a tyrant waiting for their turn. Inside every sycophant is a tyrant waiting for their turn. That's all this is. And she got her turn. She got her turn to go to jail for 9 years. But don't worry. If the election go as it should, you know, she can call her Lord and Daddy, Donald Trump. But let's go.
And the cost
So it's 8.5 years total, plus the 6 months for a total of 9 years of incarceration.
I ain't got it. I ain't got the 9 years, dog. I ain't got the 9 years on me, man. I ain't got the 9 years on me. And again, I'm not laughing at somebody's going to jail. That, you know, jail sucks. I don't know. It's just amazing to me that not only do we have you in 4K doing this stuff, but after you got arrested and you went to trial, you continue to do the stuff that would prove that you need to be found guilty. I hope the country has post-Trump nut clarity, like after this is over with. I hope it does, because this is just destructive. It's super destructive. And people like this that are falling for not just the lies, but the call of power, just makes it just sad. But anyway, like, share, and subscribe. We're going to cut this video segment here. Thank you guys for watching, and cut it here. Yeah, play stupid games. Win stupid prizes. She has just been in a found out part of the game. She messed around and she found out. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for, you know, watching the stream. Keep in mind, I'm going to say this, as my members know, if you join a membership for as little as $1, you get the videos segment cuts out usually a day or more prior to what everybody else is getting. Remember, I have my Patreon, and if you want to help support the channel, and just share the video, watch the video, that will help me out a lot. But I'm gonna go and fix me some dinner. Thank you guys for watching, and take us away, Richard.
What do you think that these executives are afraid you're going to do to white America?
Probably stop some racism.
Stop racism?
Yeah, I'm probably afraid of that, because then people don't hate each other, then people start talking to each other, and then they start talking to each other, they find out who's the problem.
Which is?
Greedy people.
Greedy. I have a couple things I want to ask you there. Do you really think that some of the guys that you dealt with at NBC, no names, right? Because there's lawsuits for that too, that some of these guys really want to promote racism actively, or is it a subconscious?
I just think it's part of capitalism, is to promote racism, you know, right? In order to make things work. If you feel better because you're white and you can get a job, you use that. I mean, you know, I would.
Absolutely.
Say, I'm sorry, Jack, but shit, they say I'm white, I'm going to use this.
Right, absolutely.
Get this job, I'm hungry, you know. But, and that separates people. So they keep people separated, and that keeps them from thinking about the real problem. That's as simple as I see it. Probably it's not that simple, but...
Now, all right, you and I are about the same age, right? We're in our mid-30s. How long is it going to take before guys who think like you, and I say guys who think like me, people who don't want to have racism in the country, people who don't want to be oppressing any minority, whatever it is, sexual, whatever minority, really get into positions of power and can change things?
You can't get in a position of power, it seems, if you think like that. It seems that the only time you get in a position of power is if you're like the people that are in power. To me, I mean, that's the way it goes. I mean, people that get to become executives become like the people that were already executives.
I don't know, maybe...
They go in with good intentions, but it eats them up. It's like a cesspool, you know, it just gets on you and it starts
the system
eating.
Levels them.
Pretty soon it's all
Is that
gone.
what a cesspool sounds like?
Yes.